All right, welcome back to Jeff Kenange Live. The bench is loaded tonight. It is jam-packed. And with this topic of abductees and their families, it's very important. I hope you're listening and spreading the word. Right next to me, Monica Mwende, her brother, still missing to this day, 40 days later. Right next to her, Duncan Chalo. He walked into a morgue the last week and found his brother's remains. Imagine that. Right next to him is Gerald Mwangi. He's father to Billy Mwangi. Right? Gerald Mwangi? Yes. Billy's dad. And he was tearful in court asking for his son. Finally, he was released, thank goodness. And he was okay. Right next to him is Langton Jamil. He was abducted for 32 days. Next to Jamil is Bob Jage, also abducted for 32 days. And all the way Aslam Langton, also the brother of Jamil. They were both arrested or abducted together and spent 32 days. Goodness gracious me. Who does that? Where do we start? Who wants to tell the story first? Monica, your brother, 40 days plus.
Yes.
Tell us, tuambie, story.
Yeah. It was last year, December, date 17. Ndio nilisikianga my brother walishikwa. So from there nikapiga simu, nikaanza kuwaelezea vile brother wangu alipotea. Nikapigia my mom, nikapigia my dad. Then all of a sudden tukaanza kuingia sasa tukimtafuta. Tukaenda Mlolongo, tukaenda kupiga kuandikisha statement ya kwamba brother yetu hayuko, alipotea. So kwenda huko kufuatilia, tukaambiwa walibebwa na watu ambao wajulikani. Walichukuliwa na gari mbili. Then from there tukuwahi jua hao watu wenye walishika hao watoto.
Ako old?
Ako 29 years.
29?
Yes. So from there tumekuwa tukipiga kambi Ruai, tumeenda Mlolongo, tumeenda Ruaka. In pain, hatujaipata any information kuhusu wa brother. So
na polisi wanasemaje?
Wanasema tu wanatusaidia kutafuta. So tumekuwa tu tukitafuta brother yetu, tunamtafuta kila mahali, mochari, hospitali, hatujaipata any information. So from there, when is date 30, tukiwa kotini pale, ndio wakati Kanja alikuja, ndio tulisikia information kwamba kuna watu wawili wamepatikana City Mochari. Ndio me and my brother Dan tulitoka tukaenda kuangalia kama ni watu wetu. Kufika kule tukapata ni watu wawili wenye walikuwa among na brother yangu. So kufika pale
yeye akapata brother yake.
Alipata wake. Walipata watu wao wawili. Sisi bado hatujaipata.
Nyinyi bado?
Yes. So from there tumekuwa tukiambiwa kuna mili zingine pale mbili asijulikani. So tumekuwa tukienda pale, tunaambiwa tungoje waangalie hiyo tag ilikuwa 2360. Tukienda tunaambiwa turudi kesho. Tunaenda hivyo, tulikuwa tunazungushwa. Finally tukaonyeshwa mwili. Tukapata sio yeye. Then from there tukatumwa Mama Lucy. Tukaenda tulipata kule wako arranged, wanajua kila mtu. Wanajua mwili zote zenye ziko pale, kila mtu iko na mwenyewe.
2360 haiko.
2360 haiko. Pia pale haikuwa hiyo mwili. Tukatoka hapo, tukaenda Kenyatta Hospital, tukaangaliliwa, hakuna. Tukaenda Mbagathi, hakuna. All of a sudden tukapata information kuna mwili imetupwa how do we call it, junction ya Kitengela hapo hivi. Twende tukaangalie. Tukatoka hapa mpaka Kitengela huko tukapata ile mwili hata ni fresh. Tukaangalia tukapata sio yeye. So tumekuwa tu tumehangaika kabisa na hatujaipata, hata hatujui tutaanza wapi, hatujui tutampata wapi, hatujui yuko hai, hatujui alikufa. Sisi tuko tu.
Duncan Chalo.
Yes.
So how did you end up in a morgue identifying your brother? What happened in Kunendaje?
Well, it was after Douglas Kaja, the IG of the police came into the court after being mentioned severally without attending the court. So on that day, we received a report that there was some body being reported somewhere at the city mortuary. So we rushed over there after the court sitting. So when we went there, we found our brother laying down there. And we could be able to identify actually this is the body of our brother without any question. It was so painful. Everybody was in tears because it was just after some time we have been looking for him everywhere. We have been in the same city mortuary trying to look for him, but nowhere to be found. But on that day, we have been told that he is there.
How did he disappear? I mean, when did he disappear?
Actually, you can't explain because we have been there 3 times asking for the unknown bodies. Any kind of accident that have been reported within Nairobi, and the body has been done to Nairobi City mortuary. But unfortunately, that date 30, we were able to discover the body.
Tell me something. Mortuary. Explain to our viewers, when you walk into the city mortuary and there's bodies everywhere, I understand, right? I don't know, but there's bodies everywhere and you have to identify. What is that like? What's that feeling like?
It was painful, but good thing is that I know the appearance of my brother, so I just passed all those bodies and I recognized this is my brother lying here. It was so painful, not even on my side, but his parents and everybody, his friends, everybody actually was in tears. For all those long searching, now we are getting him lying down in the cold. It was so painful.
Gerald Mwangi.
Yes, Jeff.
The pictures we saw, and I think we're going to play them right now. Let's play those pictures that were in court. You were pleading. You were tearful. It affected. You see, look at those pictures right there.
That's me.
That's you.
That's me. That is the old man. That is my son.
Tell us.
Jeff, I want first of all to thank you so much, JKLIVE.
Thank you
For the invite.
You're welcome.
And by extension, Citizen TV. It has been with me since that boy was abducted until today. I always hear them talk about Bire Mwangi, talk about me, and it is on the positive side of it.
Yeah.
But having said that, first of all, I want to express my sympathies with these guys, Monica and Duncan, yeah, because I know what they are going through. What they are going through is what I went through. And we pray for them each and every day. It was on 21st, Jeff.
Of December?
Of December. 3 days, 4 days to Christmas.
Yep.
And I remember yesterday is the time to Rirusha Maka in my house. Because we backdated and fast track. And I was watching football. It was Man City and another team. My boy supports Chelsea. And I'm for Arsenal.
Okay.
So both of us, we are against Man City. So it was about 15 minutes to 3 when Man City were beaten 1 goal. So my son had left the house at 3 at Sasaba Nanusu to go and have a shave. So that he comes back, we watch the game together. Because that is normally what you do in the weekends.
Right.
And when Man City conceded a goal, I called him because I was happy. I knew he was also happy. But his phone was mteja. I called him 20 minutes later. The guy was still mteja. 1 hour later, it is mteja. It is so unusual with him. Very unusual. You'll never find him offline. He'll always call us and tell us where he is. And that is the kind of boy Peter Mwangi is. So when the mother came at around 6:30, before I asked her, where is the boy? Then she's asking me, where is the boy? He's unreachable. So at 7 p.m., we are both worried. Now, something must be amiss. And it was really amiss, because at 7:30 p.m., I called my neighbor. And I told him, my son is unreachable on phone, and it is unusual. Please, can you assist me? Let's move around and see where this boy could be. So the first place we visited Jeff was in the Ebu police station. He was not there. We went to a neighboring police station called Majibo. He was not there. We went to the hospital. Perhaps we were thinking it could have been a hit-and-run incident. The guy was not there. And we could visit every place in town. He doesn't drink. He doesn't do drugs. Well, I won't talk about girls, but not at that time. Now, at 11 p.m., Jeff, that is when I came back to the house. And as I sat, I told the mother everything. And at 11 a.m., I went through my phone. There was a number that called me at 3:30, which is not in my contact. So I called that number, just like that. Then this guy, you know who he is? He is a baba. He's a Kenyozi. This is the guy who shaves the boy. All right? So he's telling me, Baba Bire, I called you at 3. You are not picking my call. Your son was picked here by 4 heavyweight guys thrown into a double cabin car. Are you aware? I told him never. I don't know. Because the phone was on loudspeaker. So the mother was here. She could hear. Within 5 minutes, because we came to realize it, even without thinking a lot, the boy had been abducted. The mother collapsed. We are 2 of us. I do not have any knowledge about nursing. So I tried even to pour water on her. I could see that I was making her worse. But thank God, before I could scream, I don't know how a man screams, she was again conscious. And we stayed, Jeff, we did not even know how it dawned, because we could not understand things. Then I went to police in the morning. In the evening, remember, I had gone there and I had told them the boy is not available. They told me to go and check him around all over. It's like, I don't know. So in the morning, I went back there. I told him, now, I have been informed from a very reliable source that the boy was abducted by 4 well-built guys with guns. Who did? They had masks all over. And they raised the boy, you know, he's a weak boy. You saw him?
Yeah.
He's a featherweight. Then they threw him into the double cabin car and they drove off.
Hold that thought, because this is just...
The next was an ordeal I have never experienced since I was born.
Okay, hold the thought.
I tell you.
Jamil.
Yes.
32 days.
Yes.
Where did they abduct you? What happened? Give us your story.
Just before the abduction, on 7th August 2024, there was a warning that was sent around. I should pass the same warning to my younger brother. And it was sent around by the top security agents in the county of Kajiado.
Kajiado, okay.
That is the county commissioner, Kajiado County, the county criminal investigating officer, and the county AP commandant. There was a security meeting on 7th August 2024. And the topic of that security meeting was Bob Njagi and my younger brother. Personally, I was not around during the Gen Z Maandamano. So I never participated in the Maandamano.
Right.
Then I was, in fact, they mistook me for my brother. But later on, they knew that I'm not Aslam, I'm Longton Jamil. So they told me, go warn your younger brother never to participate in any Maandamano in future. They're expecting the Nane Maandamano to be there. But unfortunately, it was not there. So actually, I took the warning to him. I told him, these guys are after you. Don't go to the Maandamano on Nane. That's 8th August. Then around 17th August 2024, they wrote a letter to the security agencies. That's Bob Njagi, my brother, and some 3 others. There were about 5. Requesting that they continue the Maandamano in Kitengela, because what the Gen Z wanted from the Maandamano, it was not achieved. They never wanted the outcome of the Maandamano for the ODM leaders to be given position by the government. That was not the reason for the Maandamano. The Maandamano was basically to check on the cost of living, which was skyrocketing, the youths who are unemployed, and some other factors in the country, not positions for the opposition. So they were not satisfied with the government's decision. So they wanted to go on with the Maandamano. Unfortunately, the same letter that they wrote to the security agencies, it had their mobile numbers and their identification numbers. And that is what was actually used to trace them down by the abductors.
And Aslam,
yes.
Why you? Why you?
Yeah. Utaniruhusu kidogo niongee kwa lugha ya Kimombo.
Endelea, sawa kabisa.
Why me? Mi na Bob Njagi na kuna ladies pale Melissa na Ashley na Mr. Otieno. Sisi tulikuwa tuna notify the police zile place zenye tunaenda kuoccupy. Like Kitengela tuko na market. Imeenda around 7 years. That market hijaifunguliwa. Watu wanasafa kwa street kuuza vitu kule na wanalipa ushuru. The same finance bill ni kitu ingepitishwa kwa hii country. Sisi vijana tungekuwa affected. Most of vijana tungeweza kuoa na kukua na family because that finance bill ingepita. Sisi vijana tungekuwa na. 3 ni ukosefu wa kazi. Ajira kwa vijana. Tuna vijana wengi sana wamesoma, kuna certificates, wamequalified, but they don't have job. Wako tu kwa street na sisi wanauza manguo na viatu. So hizo ndio reasons za sisi changamoto kuenda pale mbele kupresent the all Kenyans kuwa hatutaki manyanyaso, kuwa ni sisi vijana tunaonewa. Tunaona wale wenye wako kwa serikali wanachaguana tu. Hakuna new faces there. So kisisi tunaona no, hakuna change kwa hii country.
Uliabductiwa ukiwa wapi?
Kitengela.
In the town?
Yeah, tulikuwa natoka nyumbani. Hiyo siku ilikuwa tarehe 19 mwezi wa 8. Asubuhi nilienda kwa shop kununua breakfast. So nikaona watu pale kwa duka wananikalia suspicious, si watu wa mtaa. Juu watu wa mtaa tunajuana. Nikajaribu kutoka ile sehemu haraka sana. Juu kuna warning ilikuwa ishatumwa kuwa mimi nikikuonekana kwa street kwa protest nitauliwa. So nikakuwa na hiyo, sikuichukulia jambo rahisi, nilichukulia jambo zito. So kuona wale watu nikatoka lile sehemu, nikaenda kwa nyumba. Hata sikuweza kuenda hiyo siku kazi. Around kitu saa 5 mchana ndugu yangu Jamil Longton alinipigia. Akaniambia ameambiwa aende Isinya kazi. Nikuje nimdrive nimpeleke kule, yeye amechoka. So around saa 6 akanipigia akaniambia nishafika nyumbani, kuja bahati gari ni chafu, iweze kuisafisha ikuwe clean. Nikaenda nikashughulika, tukakula lunch pamoja. Saa 8 kamili ndio tulikuwa natoka kwa compound. So wakati hiyo saa 8 natoka, nikitoka kwa gate nikipark gari hapo outside the compound, kulikuwa na lady yako na simu na iko na something like power bank na cables. Nikasikia akisema ndio huyu. Na kulikuwa na wanaume wawili wamekaa kando ya kibanda na kuna taxi imepark hapo kando. Mimi nikapark gari, nikatoka kwa driver, nikaenda kufunga gate. Juu nilikuwa nimeifungua, ilikuwa wazi, so niifunge niweze kuondoka. Nikirudi kufunga gate, nikitoka nje sasa kwa gate, napata ile taxi ilikuwa imeangalia chini, imegeuka inaangalia mahali mimi naelekea. Wale wanaume wawili, mmoja sasa yuko pale, ni mmoja amebaki sasa, walikuwa wawili mbaki mmoja. Nikiingia kwa gari, sasa roho yangu imeanza kupiga, mbona yule madam alisema ndio huyu, na pale kumekuwa na wanaume wawili, mmoja ametoweka. Hili gari limekuwa likiangalia chini, baada muda mfupi imeangalia juu. Nikianza kwenda kona ya kwanza, kulikuwa na Toyota Vix imepakiwa na imefunguliwa milango, na ni mahali gari waipark, ni makosa kupakwa kona. Sikuweza kuturn, nikarudi nyuma. Nikielekea mbele ndipo kulitokea na Subaru ya white KCQ, na iliweza kuact very fast, sikuweza hizo kushika hizo namba zingine. Wanaume wawili walitoka kwa Subaru. Yule mwanaume mmoja mwenye alikuwa kwa kibanda akatokea kwa kona, na wale wanaume wawili walitoka kwa Subaru walitoka wakiwa na pistol
na bunduki.
Ule mwenye alikuwa nyuma yangu, na hiyo taxi imeniblock. So ule mwenye alikuwa nyuma akakuja na pistol akanionyesha, akaniambia zima hiyo gari na usijaribu kufanya jambo lolote, ukijaribu utapata pabaya. Nikatolewa kwa lile gari mbele kwa haraka sana, wakazima gari. Nikaekwa kwa Subaru. Nikifika kwa Subaru nilifungwa pingu mikono za nyuma, na wakachukua nguo yangu wakanifunika, na wakachukua kuna jacket wako nazo kwa boot, nikavalishwa, nikatupwa kwa boot.
Na
Jamil sasa ndio nikasikia akiwauliza, nyinyi mnapeleka wapi ndugu yangu, na nyinyi ni kitengo gani cha serikali? Naweza pigia OCS nijue nyinyi ni kina nani. Hapo pia nikasikia akipigwa kofi na kuambiwa, nyinyi mnatusumbua sana Kitengela. Tukatupwa kwa lile suya, akawekwa pia kwa ile Subaru, sasa akakalishwa katikati. Katika hiyo Subaru tukianza kutoka, kulingana na ile gari vile kulikuwa na msongamano pale ndani, ni kama wanaume 5 wameingia ndani ya Subaru pamoja na Jamil na mimi, sio watu 7 katika lile Subaru.
Watu 7?
Ndio. Mimi kwa boot, na pale ndugu yangu amekaa hapa katikati, ni wanaume 4. Na pia mimi nikiingizwa kwa lile Subaru, kulikuwa na masilaha nyingi sana hapa. Zilikuwa hapa katika hii.
Okay. Before I get to Bob, Jamil, walikuchapa kofi hapo sasa hiyo?
You know, actually they were after him. So immediately they took him to the Subaru. He was handcuffed and blindfolded. I was the co-driver. So I got out of the vehicle and I went and I inquired from them. And you know, I'm a human rights activist. I told them this is not the procedure that the police always use to arrest somebody. This is a different sort of arrest, because you're handcuffing someone, again you're blindfolding this person. So I wanted to inquire from the OCS if he's aware of this particular. We just knew it's an arrest at that point. We never knew it's an abduction. So immediately I dialed the number of the OCS. They snatched me my phone. They slapped me, and I was also handcuffed and blindfolded and thrown into the Subaru. So they did not want any slight identification to the local security agents that they're actually doing this operation.
Bob, what about you, man? Your stories. Hey.
Yeah.
Huh? Terrible. Go on.
Terrible. Jeff, my story is very much similar to the Longtons because we were abducted on the same day and we were released on the same day for the 32 days of abduction. However, my case, I was in Nairobi.
Not Kitengela.
I was in Nairobi on that day, on the 19th of August, and I had received a call from one Jimmy Wanjigi, who had been arrested, who had been summoned to the police station in Nairobi area. And he wanted some solidarity because at the time he was being oppressed by the state. And so I went to Nairobi and with my colleagues from the Free Kenya movement, we had a meeting first with Senator Okiya Mtata at his office. And thereafter I left and went to the Kamkunji police station where Jimmy Wanjigi was being held. We stayed there until evening. At about 9 o'clock, I remember the Citizen News was live and I appeared live with Willis, Jimmy's lawyer, on TV. The whole day my phone had been off because I was aware that they had been abducted. So I knew that probably they were looking for me too. But I switched on my phone in the evening at about 9. And I think from that point, then they were able to trail and track me, my whereabouts. So when we left the Kamkunji police station in the company of my colleagues, I took a bus from the city, headed to Kitengela. These are matatu. While traveling in the matatu, we got to Mlolongo bus station, Mlolongo town, which is halfway in between Kitengela and Nairobi. And at a stage called Kasina stage, the bus stopped so that some passengers would alight. And at that point, 4 men jumped into the bus and they came directly where I was seated. And they were pointing at me saying that, "Who you are kona bunduki?" You know, like I have a gun. And so I was a bit shocked at that, the first moment. I didn't know how to react. And I ended up saying that, if you're talking about me, I don't have a gun, neither do I own a gun. And before they did not give me any time to react, so they jumped on me very violently with a lot of brutal force. And they started punching me inside the bus. And
what were the other passengers doing?
The passengers were in shock. Some of them tried to record the incident, but the guys, you know, I think one of them grabbed the phone. Another one slapped one of the passengers who tried to stop them from you know, using so much violence. And I think the passengers were dissuaded from reacting. And so they ended up getting me out of the bus.
They dragged you out?
They dragged me out very violently. And
you're a big guy, Bob. I mean, you're a big guy.
Yeah, we know they had guns. They had guns, they have handcuffs, so you cannot resist. If you try to resist too much, they could have easily, you know, used the weapons that they had. So I realized, because everybody has seen me getting arrested or abducted, then I gave myself in. I surrendered myself. But they still, when they got me inside the car, they did a lot of torturing inside the car.
Like what? Punching or?
Yeah, my face was punched up. I was waterboarded inside the car. You know, a lot of torture for about 1 hour while we were driving around. So we drove around for about an hour until we got to some place where the car stopped. And I was asked to come outside the car with my head facing down, and then they handcuffed my hands at the back and blindfolded me. I was moved from the first car into a second waiting car, which was there. And this second car had about 4 men. The first car had 5 men, the second car had 4 men. I was put inside the back seat, and with 2 men on either side, and 2 men in the front. So we drove in complete silence for another half an hour.
Were they saying anything at this time? Were they talking?
At this time, no.
No.
I'm bleeding, my face is swollen, my feet, you could see the marks on my feet, you know. All this was, you know, pure torture. Yeah? And so we got to the destination where we were going. After half an hour, I was whisked out of the car and dragged into some building. It was in that building where I stayed on the ground floor, on the floor, in a very small room for about 48 hours, 2 days, no food. We were not given any food at all, just a bottle of water, which was given by one of the men when they opened the door once in a day. They would give the water with the hand. And for 2 days I was there. Then on the third day, I was moved from this room to a second room, which was on the first floor.
Bob,
Yeah.
that is a little too much to take at this time of the evening. So hold that thought. We want to hear your ordeals. You know, Aslam, now Jamil, we want to hear more. Right? Even for you, Gerald, you know, because what did Billy tell you he went through? You know, were they stripped naked? You know, no food for days. We want to know your stories, right? Yes. People need to know. Yeah. People need to know, because, Monica, if they don't know, I mean, your brother, he could be dead right now. How did you eat? Let's take a break. What do you say? Get those tweets coming. At Koinange Jeff, at Citizen TV, the hashtag JKLIVE. JKLIVE takes a break. We'll be back. This is unprecedented. It's incredible stories and real life stories of abductions happening to this day. It takes me back to when we were growing up, those dark days of one-party government. That's where it takes us back. And it's scary, if anything. And I'm sure you guys are scared right now. Mukitoka kwa hii interview, you never know what's going to happen outside. Ausio? Yeah. Back in a moment. Subaru ya mabaru imekamna imejaa.